So Frank, you just released the Q1 stats. Can you give us a little bit about the takeaways?
Yes, absolutely, Sheena. First of all, there was about 7.5 million square feet of leasing activity, and this was about a 50% increase quarter over quarter in demand. However, the supply still outpaced the leasing activity. You had negative absorption, increasing availability. In many areas of the market, there was a decrease in the average asking rent. Actually, now we have areas such as Midtown South with record high availability, and we actually have two separate submarkets with availability rates north of 25%.
Yikes.
Yes, exactly. That's the financial district and the neighboring insurance district.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about the leasing demand. The increase in leasing demand doesn't seem to match the sentiment on the street. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Yes, I knew you'd ask. Great question. As was always the case in the Manhattan market, a few deals can always move the needle in terms of leasing activity. And there was no exception during the first quarter. There were 5 deals that counted for about a third of total activity. In no particular order, this was 2 Sigma with the renewal down at 100 Avenue of the Americas, Citadel with its 2 separate long-term leases in the Plaza District, and Fox and News Corp with their separate renewals at 1211 Avenue of the Americas. Now these were early in the year, so there was an increase in leasing activity in January, but without those mega deals, leasing activity dropped off in February and in March.
Well, I feel like I have to ask the question about the changes in the banking sector. I mean, has there been any additional availability from some of the regional banks or even Silicon Valley Bank's closure?
It's a great question, and it's something that we're monitoring, especially with these regional banks accounting for several million square feet of occupancy in the market. We really haven't seen any space that's come on the market directly as a result of that. There have been financial service companies that have been putting space on the market for sublease, but none that can really be tied to the news from several weeks ago. Interestingly, we have actually seen some transactions close within the banking sector. Bank of America expanded at 1 Bryant Park. They have quite a footprint at that building. And Standard Charter renewed at 1095 Avenue of the Americas.
And what about the conversions? I feel like there is some momentum building for the conversions that are happening in the city. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. It's something that continues to evolve, and it did impact the first quarter stats. So we had a few buildings in the first quarter that had been confirmed for planned residential conversion. So 330 West 42nd Street, the upper floors there, that was a announced conversion, so that block came out of the availability rate. The Candler building at 220 West 42nd, it was announced that that building would be used for emergency housing, so that was pulled out of the stats. 609 Fifth Avenue, there's been announced plans there. So yes, there's a few buildings. It's not enough to create positive absorption, but it is a little bit of excess supply that's coming out of the stats, and we're going to watch that quarter by quarter to see if there's any other buildings that are going to help with the excess supply.
Interesting. Well, there's a lot to monitor, so we'll see what happens next month.